Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Core Racing League GT3 Road to Rio Challenge. We are here in beautiful Australia here for the Mount Panorama race, round 7 of the series here, and the drivers are currently getting gridded up here for our 20-minute sprint race as we have just wrapped up qualifying. Real quick, let's go over the format for this evening. As always here throughout the series, we will have a sprint race that is timed 20 minutes here this evening, and then we'll do a full invert throughout the field there, and we will have a 60-minute feature timed event there this evening. Fuel set at 50%. One quick repair for the drivers here tonight: unlimited tires. Be interesting to see here what kind of strategy the drivers can pull out here this evening. And real quick, over there on the right side of your screen, you see the current point standings as Mason Smith does come in on top in the points here. Adam Jones in second. Unfortunately, Adam could not make it here this evening. I believe, that is confirmed. He's not in the driver list here this evening. Nick Nickerson there, our pole sitter tonight, he's in third. Carl Hanwork fourth. Chris Hamilton there rounds out your top 5 in the points. All right, let's go over the official starting order here this evening. So starting on pole, Nick Nickerson there with one heck of a qualifying lap, a 2:02.7 there, and he beats second place Mason Smith there by a little over 1 second. So Nick throwing down a heck of a lap there. Carl Hanwork in third, Christopher Hamilton fourth, Jimmy Covert in fifth, Derek Sherman sixth, Paul Butler starting seventh, Kevin Foster in eighth. In ninth, we have Sean Goodwin in 10th, Mark Thomas 11th, Matthew Goering, and in 12th, Nick Brown. Starting 13th here, we've got John Crane, 14th, Dane Simpson, in 15th, Abhi Visavesam, in 16th, Nicholas DeVos, and 17th, John Nobinger, and then rounding it out there in 18th will be Brandon DeVos. That'll do it for your starting order here in the sprint race this evening. And there will be a new starting procedure here tonight. It will be a single file start and no passing until they are through turn 1 here. And you'll see why in just a moment here as the pace car pulls off, and we will get this race started here momentarily.
Green flag.
And the green flag is out there, so Nick Nickerson leads the field down into turn 1. You can see all the drivers single file as they head down into turn 1. Very tricky. They name it the hell corner for a reason there. You can see it's a tight left-hander. So it looks like all the drivers here are going to make it through pretty well there. Let's see if we have any battles currently going on. Looks like Jimmy Covert here in that number 14 car. He's currently in 5th. As we see them head through turn 2 here as they head up the hill. Very twisty section of the track here. And already there we see the drivers getting through pretty cleanly here in our 20-minute sprint race. Getting spread out here. No action yet. Oh, I'd say that, and looks like we've got one in the wall here real quick. Let's go back and check it out. Looks like it's going to be Dane Simpson. Looks like he's going to lose the rear of the car there. Self-spin, so no other drivers involved. Meanwhile here, let's bring in the action. Covert has made a pass here. He moves up into 4th. Looks like we got about, oh no, we've got one of the Ferrari drivers in the wall there. That's going to be Paul Butler there with heavy damage, and looks like Mark Thomas also involved in that one. Maybe even Carl Hanwork as well. Let's go back and check the replay here. And a very tight section of the track. Yes, we saw a car turned around there. Oh, looks like Butler just makes contact with the wall there. Couldn't get much from that angle. But not a good night here for the Ferrari drivers or the Porsche drivers, as it looks like Hanwork was involved with Mark Thomas. Out front here as we complete lap 1. Nick Nickerson there in that number 2 car. He's going to lead us down. His teammate right behind him, Mason Smith, in second, close behind, with Christopher Hamilton there in third. Looks like Matthew Goering here is going to try to make a move on the outside of the 08 of sorry, the 92 there, Nick Brown, not going to make it work through turn 1 there as it's a single line groove. See if he can make a move here as they head down to into turn 2. He's not going to be close enough there. See just how difficult this section of the track here as they head down the hill through the S's. A lot of patience to get back on the throttle there, a lot of brake control as it's very easy to lock the tires up, but this corner right here was the most important as they head down the longest straight of the track. Want to get a good exit out of that corner. As you can see, it looks like Brown there in the 92 is going to pull away. See the 44 here of John Nobinger currently in 12th. He's chasing down Visa Vasum there. That's your battle for 11th. Be interesting to see where the passing zones are here tonight in these GT3 cars as it's a very tight, narrow track. Looks like Nobinger there is going to get a better exit through turn 1. He is slowly catching there. I don't think he's going to be there quite to the rear of the car. No, he's not going to be able to make a move here as they go down into turn 2. So this section of the track right here, single file up through the hill and then down the hill, going to be very difficult to make a pass here as he is now going to catch up right to the back bumper there of 11th place Visa Vasum. Oh, we've got a car going backwards there, spun around. That is going to be John Crane in the 199, and he's going to have to wait quite a while here as a train of cars comes through before he can get that thing turned around. Let's go check the replay. See him heading up the hill here down into turn 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to carry too much speed there, lose the rear of the car like we've already seen a few drivers do tonight. And unfortunate there for John Crane. Does get it spun back around. He rejoins here in 14th, but he does have damage there to that rear spoiler. She's Sean Goodwin here, his teammate, making a move on Foster there. This is your battle for 6, as you can see there. Goodwin. I'm sorry, it's actually backwards there. Nick Brown is making a move on Sean Goodwin here. I do apologize about that. So Sean Goodwin there is in that blue Ferrari. Nick Brown there in the orange and blue Audi here. And he's going to be all over the back of him as they head down into turn 1. Brown's not going to get a good exit there out of turn 1, so he's not going to be able to get up to him for a passing opportunity down into turn 2. And here we see the 199 of John Crane trying to make up some positions since that self-spin. Currently back in 15th as it looks like Dane Simpson's going to make it by him there. But Crane here going to fight back on the inside through the final corner. Check back in here. The battle for 7th is Nick Brown there in that orange and blue Audi. Looks to take away 7th place from Sean Goodwin as they now head down through the S's, down the mountain here. Oh, we see Goodwin there run wide. Gonna lose a ton of time there, but unfortunately Brown can't do anything in this section of the track. Very, very difficult to pass here. Needs to get a good exit right here though, because the long straight they're heading down towards. Great drafting opportunity here and passing opportunity down into the final few corners. Oh, and looks like we've had a driver off the track here. Looks like it's going to be Visu Vesum here back in 13th. Oh, and just right as he was downshifting there, locked the rear of the car up, spun it around. He was actually blocking the track there for a few moments. Good. We do see a couple cars coming down. They do get by him, so he does get that car turned around again. Meanwhile here, the battle for 7th is still on here as they just head through turn 1, now headed down toward turn 2. You can see Goodwin being very defensive here, going to block the inside going down into turn 2. And looks like it's going to work here as Brown is now stuck behind him. I don't believe he can make a move here up into turn 3 and 4. Just way too tight of a section through here. So Brown is going to be forced to ride behind him here, at least for another half lap. Right on board Nick Brown here as he chases down Sean Goodwin for 7th through the trickiest part of the track right here as they start to descend down the mountain through the S's. Oh, it looks like Goodwin's going to run wide. That's going to allow Nick Brown down the inside. It's going to be a drag race down this straight here. We've seen some good top speed there from that Ferrari, so he's going to make it challenging here to make that pass. And it looks like Brown not able to make it happen there, as it looks like Goodwin's running a little less downforce here. Ooh, a little contact there as they head through the final few corners. And that could be Nick Brown there just getting a little impatient, being stuck behind Goodwin here in a track that is very difficult to pass. And we've got a battle for 2nd here. Is Chris Hamilton there. Looks to take away 2nd from Mason Smith going down into turn 2 here. And looks like Mason's going to be able to defend there. Nicely done. And Hamilton will be forced to follow here up the mountain. Same deal right behind him here. Nick Brown going to look to the outside. Goodwin going to protect the inside through turn 2. And he's going to do the same thing there. So Nick Brown not able to make it happen there again. Meanwhile, Matthew Goering right behind him. You can see him start to creep into the picture here as we just passed halfway through our 20-minute sprint race here this evening. Ooh, Nick Brown here gonna maybe force the issue on the inside here. Just not enough track to do it. He could try to outbrake him here, but he is going to fall back in line. So Nick Brown trying everything he can do here to get around him. Oh, a Goodwin is going to make a mistake there as he runs wide. That's going to allow Brown through and maybe even Goering here. So a mistake out of the 66 car there of Goodwin Going to potentially cost him 2 positions, as Goering's going to be on the outside here, not the preferred line through this corner. And again, you can see the straight line speed that Ferrari has here tonight. Going to be very tough to pass him, as he does slot back into 8th place. Oh, he's going to run wide there again. So that's going to allow Goering by there up into 8th. And now we'll see if he can chase down Nick Brown there for 7th. Meanwhile, out front here, Nick Nickerson is running away with it. Currently a 7-second gap back to 2nd place. So Nickerson here showing he has the speed here tonight in Australia. Have to go all the way back here, 7 seconds, to see Mason Smith here in 2nd. He's doing a great job holding off Chris Hamilton there in 3rd. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap this lap, so might have had a mistake there out of Hamilton, as the gap is currently about 1.2 seconds there to Mason Smith in 2nd. Jimmy Covert doing a great job here in 4th currently. He's another 7 seconds behind the 2nd and 3rd place car there, but he has a bit of space, a bit of breathing room here, as the next car is going to be Derek Sherman in 5th, about 2.2 seconds back. Kevin Foster there in the Ferrari. He is in 6th currently, so we saw his teammate had trouble and is already out of the race here tonight. Let's go see this battle right here. This is your battle for 10th, as we look at DeVos here. That is Nicholas DeVos trying to chase down John Nobinger there for 10th place. You can see Nobinger has a bit of damage there on that rear spoiler. Have to imagine the downforce loss through this slow, twisty section of the track here. Ooh, and we see here Goodwin going to give a challenge to Goering here. This is your battle for 8th. Looks like the top line speed there on that Ferrari is going to prevail, as Goodwin's going to move back up into 8th. But I don't think Goering's done here. Can he make a move in the final corner? No, he thinks better of it there. So Goodwin going to move back up into 8th, but he runs wide again. That's going to compromise his exit. Goering here should be able to potentially make a move down into 1, but does not do so. So Goering going to fall back here into 9th. And we could see a bit of a strategy play here tonight. Remember, there is a full invert coming to the drivers here for our 60-minute race, and track position looks like it's going to be key here tonight, as we haven't seen a lot of passing opportunities. So it'll be interesting to see here just how hard Goering wants to push it. And as I say that, he takes to the outside here through turn 2, and he's going to have the preferred line as they head up through the mountain here as they ascend. And it looks like Goering's going to take away 8th there from Goodwin. So it looks like these two drivers are just going to keep swapping positions here as we head into the final 4 minutes of our 20-minute sprint race. We can see here Derek Sherman in 5th is starting to close in on Covert there for 4th. Gap is currently about 1.2 seconds, but he has made up quite a bit of time here these past 2 laps. And here we're going to see the Ferrari of Goodwin here show his strength down this long straight as he drafts up behind Goering here. Going to make a move to the inside. And I can tell you, as a driver, that is one of the most frustrating things you can have happen to you, is you're quicker through most of the track, but on one straight there, Goodwin just has that straight line speed and is able to rocket by Goering, and just nothing he can do there to defend, as Goodwin's going to move back up into 8th. Oh, and looks like Nobinger there in the 44 has a little more trouble as he spins out, makes contact with the wall hard. Let's go back and check the replay here. Oh, and he's going to lose the rear of the car there. Makes hard contact with the wall. I believe that was down in turn 17 or 16 there. One of the final corners in the S's. And heavy damage to that car. So Nobinger just not having a good night here at this track, unfortunately. As it is one of the most difficult to drive fast here. Out front here, Nick Nickerson still has about a 7-second gap back to second place teammate Mason Smith here. As you can see, Nickerson is coming up on lap traffic here. That is the 44 of Nobinger right in front of him with heavy damage. It looks like Nobinger is going to be able to get out of the way there and not hold up Nickerson here. And here we're going to see a battle for 11th as Dane Simpson there in the 96 car right on the back of Visu Vasum there for 11th. As you can see, they take the white flag this time, which means Nick Nickerson here is rounding the final few corners. So it looks like he is going to take away the sprint race win here, which unfortunately means he will have to start in the very back of the field. So it'll be interesting to see on a track that is very difficult to pass here, how quickly, if at all, can Nickerson work his way up through the field. He'll have 60 minutes to do so there as he crosses the line, takes the sprint race win. In seconds, going to go to Mason Smith there, his teammate, with Christopher Hamilton there crossing the line in third. Ooh, and we've got a great battle here for fifth as Kevin Foster has caught up to Derek Sherman there. He's going to look down the outside through the final corner, but unfortunately Foster not going to have the preferred line there on the outside. So it is going to be Sherman there who does come across the line in fifth with Foster in sixth. You can see the 66 car of Sean Goodwin here across the line in 8th with Matthew Goering right behind him there in 9th. Next up here, we've got the 39 car of Nicholas DeVos. Oh, and trouble here for Dane Simpson as he spins out and unfortunately has the car beached there as he is unable to get that car backed out of there. As you can see, he's going to have to tow it back to pit road there. So Visu Vasum is going to be able to get 11th place here as Simpson unfortunately makes a mistake there, and that's going to cost him that battle. Just real quick, I want to go back and check out what happened here because you could see Simpson was able to make it by Visu Vasum momentarily Is there going to be a bit of contact? There is, down into turn 2. And that is where Simpson tried to get it turned back around, but beached the car. All right, the drivers will start their 2-minute warm-up here before we grid up for our feature race. So let's bring up the official results here for our sprint race here this evening. Nick Nickerson taking home the win, Mason Smith in second, Christopher Hamilton in third, Jimmy Covert finishing fourth. In fifth, we have Derek Sherman in sixth, Kevin Foster finishing seventh, Nick Brown in eighth. We have Sean Goodwin in ninth, Matthew Goering in 10th. We have Nicholas DeVos in 11th, Abivi Suvesum finishing 12th. We have Dane Simpson in 13th. John Nobinger, 14th, goes to Mark Thomas. In 15th, John Crane. 16th, Brandon DeVos. Paul Butler in 17th, with Carl Handwerk there finishing dead last, which means Carl will start in first here once we get started for our 60-minute feature race. So could be a blessing in disguise here, having that trouble on lap 1 there for Handwerk, as he's going to start up front here on a track that is very difficult to pass on. All right, the drivers here have finished the warm-up session. Now we're going to get gridded up for our 60-minute feature here. So let's go over the official starting order. Starting up front in first, we have Carl Handwerk in second, Paul Butler starting third, Brandon DeVos in fourth, John Crane in fifth, we have Mark Thomas in sixth, John Nobinger starting seventh, we have Dane Simpson in eighth, Abivi Suvesum starting ninth, Nicholas DeVos in 10th, Matthew Goering in 11th, Sean Goodwin starting 12th, Nick Brown. Starting 13th, we have Kevin Foster. In 14th, Derek Sherman. In 15th, Jimmy Covert. Starting 16th, Christopher Hamilton. And 17th, Mason Smith. And rounding it out there in last, 18th, goes to Nick Nickerson, our sprint race winner here tonight. So he has quite a few drivers here to make some passes here, and hopefully get up front and fight for the win. But it's going to be very difficult for him to do so here on this track this evening. Also be interesting to see what Handwerk here can do from pole position. We know he's quick here, he's quick in general there with his teammate Mark Thomas right behind him. But both of those guys were caught up in a lap 1 incident there up through the, I believe as they were descending down the mountain through the S's there. So both drivers just catching short end of the stick there in the sprint race. But now they have great starting positions here for the feature. And can they run away with it here early on? That'll be the question. Also, can't forget about fuel strategy here tonight. The fuel strategy master here, Kevin Foster, he's starting in 10th. What kind of surprise can he pull out here this evening? Could we see another no-stop race out of this driver? Who knows, as we round the final corner here and get started. Green flag is away. Oh, and looks like we've got some passes going on here before the first turn. As we see Visa Vason there going to make a pass and move up into 5th. And it's going to be a drag race for the drivers here down for the long run into turn 2. It's like Kevin Foster here, a trio of cars with Goodwin right in front of them, as Foster's going to be on the outside here of Nick Brown. Looks like Nick Brown is going to be able to hold off Foster there. Oh, we've already got a car going around here. Mayhem as Visu Vasum blocks the track there momentarily. Let's go back and see what happened there. And you can see Visu Vasum here was in 5th, having a good run. Made up a couple spots there on the opening part of the lap, just carrying way too much speed there and going to lose the rear of the car. Looks like all the drivers doing a great job there to make it around and not make contact. Very impressive job there by all of the drivers. But now in 5th here, Dane Simpson under major pressure from Matthew Goering there in 6th. Oh, and we've got a bit of a couple drivers going off there. That's going to be Nick Brown. Looks like he made a little contact there with the inside wall, but he was able to keep going there. And on further back here, the teammates have swapped position, so a little strategy here from the teammates as Mason Smith was ahead of Nickerson. He's going to let him by here, and we'll see what this duo here can do as they're currently in 11th and 12th. You can see a little damage there to the right front of Christopher Hamilton's car. He's made contact with something there. Oh, Dane Simpson around there on the front straight. Looks like he's going to stay out of the way. Looks like it's going to be a single car wreck here. Well, let's check the instant replay here. Dane Simpson heading through the final corner there. Oh, he's just going to go off track and get into the slick stuff there and loop the car around into the inside wall. Oh, here we've got to move 4-6 as Hamilton makes a move up the inside there of Goodwin going down into turn 2. He's going to complete the pass there. And on further back here, Nickerson's going to make it around. I believe that was... Oh, that car actually was a lap down. Not sure who that is currently, the Audi driver there. That's going to be the 199 there of John Crane. It's right on board 8th place Jimmy Covert here as he chases down 7th place Sean Goodwin. And you can also see Christopher Hamilton there in 6th, just up ahead of these guys. Jimmy Covert here in the McLaren. You can see just ahead of him Sean Goodwin there in the Ferrari. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these cars here has the better straight line speed, as it looks like the McLaren in the draft here has a bit of an edge as he's going to make a move up the inside here. Oh, they're going to touch, and oh no, disaster there for Covert as he gets major damage, and looks like his night may be mostly over there. He does have one quick repair available to him, but early on here in the race, having to pit this early, that is going to be disastrous for him. We see the two Mercedes drivers here. Nick Nickerson, our sprint race winner, with his teammate Mason Smith right behind him. And let's right on board here with Nickerson as he chases down 7th place driver Sean Goodwin. And it'd be interesting to see where he chooses to make his move here, as he needs to get by and start to put the pressure on the top 5 up there as they run away with it currently. And real quick, we'll get back to that action, but we've got some action right here as they descend down the hill. This is your battle for fourth here. As you can see, we've got a whole cluster of cars right in front of them. We've got the 44 there of Nobinger. We've got Matthew Goering there, and then Christopher Hamilton right behind him. And you can see there, it looks like Nobinger is holding up quite a few cars here, as Christopher Hamilton going to get a good draft here on Matthew Goering. Going to look to the inside down into turn 20 and 21. And yes, this track has a lot of turns. 23 turns here on the circuit here tonight, as it looks like Hamilton there is going to move up into fifth, potentially make a move here on Nobinger. Wow, what a late dive there on the brakes. He's going to make it work there, so Hamilton going to move up into fourth. And I believe that's what we're going to have to see from these drivers here tonight, is get very aggressive. Ooh, as Goering there makes a little contact. Going to run Hamilton wide there, so Goering's actually going to get a better drive here through the final corner. So Goering moves up into fourth. And on further back here, they're too wide. As you can see, Nickerson there still working on the 66 of Goodwin. And I like what I see here out of our sprint race winner, as he's being very patient and cautious, trying to keep his car clean, but still moving up through the field. As Christopher Hamilton there gets a good run down into turn 2. He's going to move up into fourth. It's right on board our 8th place driver here, Nick Nickerson, as he follows this train of cars here up the mountain as they ascend. Oh, contact there from the 66. He clips the inside wall. Doesn't look like it's going to hurt him too bad, but he is going to move out of the way there. As, oh no, he does have a ton of damage there. Looks like he has a mechanical failure there. Ton of damage to the right side of that car, so he's going to be pretty much done here this evening as he tows it back to pit road. And we see Nick Nickerson here trying to work his way around the 44 of Nobinger. Needs to get by this car quickly here. As you can see, the 2 cars up ahead there, 4th and 5th place, have sailed away. But it could be that Nickerson here is playing a strategy game as well. We don't know what the drivers are going to do on fuel here tonight, as we always have a surprise. So we could see these Mercedes drivers here trying to play a strategy game tonight. As he does actually make it by Nobinger there. Both of them do. So Mason Smith's going to make it by there as well. So I think Nobinger there just saw that those were not the guys he was racing here in his race. So he's going to let them by. Meanwhile, out front here, but not totally out front by himself, Carl Handwerk still has the race lead, but only 1 second is the gap there back to Paul Butler, who we saw have some trouble in the sprint race on the opening lap, but he is doing a great job there to hang with Handwerk here and stay within 1 second. A little bit further back there, we have the teammate to Handwerk, Mark Thomas, here in 3rd, with Christopher Hamilton there in 4th, slowly gaining, but he is gaining. Oh, we're going to ride on board Paul Butler here as he makes a mistake. And unfortunately, it looks like we might have given him the broadcaster's curse there, as he's going to have heavy damage to that car. It looks like his night may be finished here unless he can limp that car back around the pit road. And he does not. He tows it back. So unfortunate there for Paul Butler, as he was having a great run. Let's go back and check the instant replay on that one, because it looked like he just took too much curb here on the exit of the corner. Got 2 tires in the grass there, and that just made that car loop around there into the wall hard. All right, Nickerson here has caught up to the back of Goering. This is your battle for 4th. See if he can draft by him here down into the final few corners. He is. He's going to have the inside line here as they head down into turn 20 and 21. So Nickerson there is going to move up into 4th. He has about, it looks like 4 seconds to catch up to third place Christopher Hamilton there. And now we're going to see the teammate to Nickerson, Mason Smith here, make a move up the inside down into the final corner. He is going to run wide though. We've seen drivers do that all night long. And Goering there is going to make it by. That almost seemed like a tactical move there from Goering. We saw him do that on someone else where they got the inside line, made a late dive down in the final corner. Goering just lets him go because he knows they're going to run wide and then ends up getting back around them. So unfortunately, Smith here going to be stuck behind Goering here for another portion of the lap here, but Smith is going to take a look here down into turn 2, not going to make it work there. And we've got a great battle here. This is your battle for 8th as Derek Sherman just got passed by Nobinger, but he's not giving up here. See if Mason Smith here can get a good exit out of the final corner out of the S's. Looks like he's going to do so. Going to draft up right to the back there of Goering. Try to make a move up the inside into turn 20 and 21 here. It looks like he's going to be able to complete the pass with no mistake here as he does move up into 5th. His teammate now 3 seconds up the road though. And it looks like Mark Thomas here has now been caught by our third place driver, Christopher Hamilton. So it looks like Hamilton here going to be setting up a pass potentially soon here as he is now caught up. I believe he brought that gap down from a few seconds there in a couple laps. So Mark Thomas here falling off the pace a bit. As you can see, he's 19.6 seconds behind his teammate up there in the race lead. Right on board Hamilton here as he chases down second place Mark Thomas. Oh, Thomas is going to lose it right in front of him. And it looks like Hamilton was able to make it by there. Nickerson also making it by. You can see Mason Smith there as well. So Mark Thomas still just stuck there on the track as he lets all these cars by. He's going to get it spun around here, hopefully, without any more potential damage here, as it's a very tight section of the track. You can see he's having to make that about a 10-point turn here. And it looks like Derek Sherman was able to make it back by Nobinger here for 7th. These two guys here swapping positions most of the night here as we are just now going to complete, I believe, yep, about 15 minutes here into our 60-minute race this evening. Handwork out front here, 23 seconds is the gap, and I tell you, this is his race to win or his race to lose here. With that kind of gap, he can set the pace, he can call the strategy here tonight. So it'll be interesting to see, can he hold off from the pressure there of those Mercedes drivers as they start to catch up to him slowly but surely. But with that kind of gap right there, Handwork can potentially take home the race win here tonight. Oh, and looks like Paul Butler here has towed it back to pit road. So he's getting his damage repaired there. We could see him rejoin. He hasn't gotten out of the car yet, but up front here, we've got these two drivers. That is Nick Brown, but it looks like he is multiple laps down here, at least one lap down, with his teammate there, John Crane, right behind him. All right, here we've got a battle brewing up for second as Nickerson has ran down Christopher Hamilton here. 4/10 is the gap as they head into the final portion of the track here. And we're starting to see Nickerson here really show his pace tonight. Head down into the final corner here. Ooh, Hamilton gonna make a mistake there, run wide. That's gonna allow Nickerson here to look to the inside as they head down into turn one. And looks like he is gonna complete that pass there and move up into second. Now he has to start chipping away at that 25-second gap up to our race leader, Carl Hanworth. Oh, Hamilton gonna run wide there. That's gonna allow Mason Smith by. So Mason Smith there gonna move up into third. And now we'll see these two Mercedes drivers here start to work together to chase down our race leader. Oh, looks like Visu Vasum here has been involved in a wreck. Let's go check the instant replay here. He was in 11th here as he heads down into the final corner. Gonna lose the rear of the car, unfortunately there. He is gonna get it spun back around. Just now approaching 20 minutes complete here in our 60-minute feature race. And so far, Hamilton here doing a pretty decent job to stay within about a second and a half there of third place driver Mason Smith. We also see Kevin Foster here chipping away at fifth place driver there, Matthew Goring. And looks like he may be within striking distance here within a lap or two. I have to wonder here what the fuel strategy master, Kevin Foster here, is going to do tonight. Currently sitting sixth. And Carl Handwerk there picking up the pace as he sets the quickest lap of the race there with a 2-minute 4-second lap. The only driver to get down into the 2-minute 4-second range. And he is starting to set some blistering laps as Nick Nickerson's last lap by was a 2-minute 6-second. So Handwerk there picking up the pace a bit. And with that kind of lap times there, it looks like Nickerson here, the gap is starting to grow there to our race leader up to 29 seconds. So Handwerk is definitely picking up the pace here. Looks like Handwerk is definitely on a 2-stop strategy here tonight, but we can't rule anything out with the fuel strategy here as anybody's guess here tonight. What are those Ferrari drivers going to do? We've seen the Mercedes here be particularly not so kind on the fuel mileage. Hamilton here has picked up the pace and now chipped away at the gap up to third place driver there, Mason Smith. The gap is now down to about half a second here as they start to descend through the S's. All right, we are getting close here to the halfway mark as we are just a little over 23 minutes. So we should start to see some action on pit road from the guys that are going to make it a one-stop race somewhere around the 30-minute mark here. So we'll keep our eye on that. But meanwhile, Christopher Hamilton here in fourth. Looks like he loses a bit of ground there through the final part of the track on Mason Smith. But Nickerson here has backed off considerably as his teammate is starting to catch him. And just looking at the lap time there, that last time by, Nickerson ran a 2:08 with our race leader running a 2:05. So I believe Nickerson here is doing some fuel saving. And we see Hamilton here now all over the back of our third place driver, Mason Smith. We also see Kevin Foster here in the Ferrari starting to put the pressure on fifth place driver Matthew Goering as he's going to make a look on the inside here, heading down into turn 21. And he is going to complete the pass there. So Foster moving up into fifth with a very clean pass there on Goering. We see Goering there still putting the pressure on Foster. He's not letting him get away here, especially through this section of the track where they ascend the mountain. But as I say that, Goering hits the wall hard. I believe he was actually stuck in the wall there. So he's unfortunately going to have to tow it back to pit road with a very unusual accident. Let's go back and check the replay here. Oh, he actually clips the inside wall there. And wow, that Derek Sherman there did a heck of a job to stay out of making contact there. Let's ride on board Derek Sherman here and just see that from his point of view. Wow, quick reaction time there, because drivers typically do go all the way to the curb. So he does a great job there staying out of that, but unfortunate there for Goering. And it looks like Smith here has been passed for third, as Hamilton there moves up into third. Let's go back and check the replay here. Take a look at this pass as it was made down into turn 21. And looks like Mason Smith there just saw he was quicker and lets him by, as I do believe these two Mercedes drivers here, Smith and Nickerson, have a strategy here tonight, and they are sticking to it, as they have backed off considerably from our race leaders' race pace. And I believe even Kevin Foster here back in 5th and Derek Sherman in 6th are setting quicker times than Nickerson and Smith right now. Coming up here on the halfway point, as we are 29 minutes here into our 60-minute race, so we could see some action on pit road here this time for the drivers that want to make it a one-stop race. As you can see here, Hamilton now has caught up to the back of Nick Nickerson, who has backed off here and saving fuel. So we could see a pass here for second potentially soon. But Hamilton doesn't get a great exit there out of turn 18. And you can see Mason Smith there closing up pretty quickly on the back of that car. And looks like handwork is going to stay out. And Nickerson here going to come down pit road, so he's going to do the opposite here of what our race leader does. Looks like Hamilton is going to stay out. Is Mason Smith also going to come down pit road? No, he's going to stay out. So the teammate there choosing to run a different strategy here tonight. But Nickerson headed down pit road. Looks like Kevin Foster also down pit road this time. And I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed here that we didn't see a no-stop strategy from Foster, but it could just be impossible here with the track layout tonight. So Foster here going to play it safe, come down pit road. Looks like Nobinger here going off there as he tries to come down pit road. Very tricky pit entrance here tonight. It kind of catches you by surprise at just how slow you have to go through it there, and it looks like it caught the 44 car there by surprise. But he does make it down pit road. And it looks like Nickerson here is going to rejoin in 5th. And he will have a pretty clear track up ahead of him. That is the lap car there of Crane in front of him. So the next car on the lead lap is going to be Derek Sherman, who is 34 seconds up the road. So Nickerson here can really stretch his legs and lay down some fast laps. Meanwhile here, Carl Handwork is going to head through the final corners. Be interesting to see here. Is he going to head down pit road this time? He is. can see just how much you have to slow down there on that pit entrance. Does a great job, no mistakes there. And again, it's his race to lose here tonight, as he had about a 30-second gap there before he came down pit road back to second place driver here, Christopher Hamilton. It's like Hamilton here gonna come down pit road as well, as he makes a pass there on a lap car coming down pit road. Mason Smith, though, gonna stay out a little bit longer here as he is extending this run, and he's gonna move up into the race lead because of that. Unfortunately there, that last lap time of 2:09, not very quick. So I have to imagine that this strategy may not work for him here tonight, but time will tell, as he's currently in the race lead. Handwork is about 9 seconds back. And does look like we have third place Derek Sherman down pit road. Christopher Hamilton here with a very long pit stop. Not sure what's going on there. He might have had mandatory repairs on that car. As you can see, the right front is damaged, and that could be disastrous for him tonight, as he's going to rejoin somewhere in 5th or 6th, but having a very long pit time here tonight. And we see race leader here, Mason Smith, as he descends down the mountain here. 33, almost 34 minutes here complete out of our 60-minute timed event. And Mason Smith here extending that fuel run. See if he comes down pit road this time. Handwork, though, laying down some quick laps here. As you can see, that gap back to second just shrinking down to 5 seconds here. And Smith is going to head down pit road this time. Looks like Nobinger here might have went off the track. He's running in 7th here when this happened. That is down into the first corner. He just loses the rear of the car, keeps it out of the wall, and does a great job there to get the car unstuck. Didn't beach it like we saw another driver do tonight. So Handwork here going to move back up into the race lead. He has about 33-second gap back to third place Nick Nickerson there. So Handwork here with a considerable gap tonight. Has to go mistake free for the rest of the race here, and he could take home a race win. It's like that time by Nick Nickerson here was down into the low 206s. So still not quite at the speed that we've seen Carl throw out here tonight. He got into the 204s. But it looks like he is picking up the pace here a bit. We'll see if he can start to put the pressure on. But still plenty of racing left here. 25 minutes left here this evening. Looks like Matthew Goring here down pit road. Nick Brown also down pit road this time. We see that last lap there by Handwork, a 2:08. So quite a bit slower here than our second place driver, Nick Nickerson. We'll see what Nickerson here can throw down when he crosses the line. But the gap is now down to 27 seconds here. So about 3 seconds taken out of the gap here that lap alone. As you can see, it looks like Nickerson there is going to be about a second and a half quicker that lap. And that is what a lap here looks around the beautiful circuit here of Mount Panorama. And this track is just a beautiful one here. Difficult one to drive here for the drivers. As you can see, we only have currently 9 cars, I believe, on the lead lap here. Have quite a few drivers out this evening with too much damage to continue. That's going to be both of the DeVos brothers there. I believe they're brothers. Nicholas and Brandon. Jimmy Covert also out. Paul Butler out. Looks like Sean Goodwin is back on track. Matthew Goering is going to be out here. All right, we're seeing these Mercedes drivers start to pick up the pace here a bit. as it looks like that time around Nick Nickerson here was about 8/10 of a second quicker, but we only have 18 minutes remaining here, and he's going to have considerably more pace here out of that car if he wants any chance at challenging for the race lead. So far here though, Carl Handwerk, our race leader, doing a great job staying mistake free here, and looks just cool, calm, and collected here, just pumping out some decent laps here. He's in the 2-minute 6-second range. Checking on Mason Smith here, currently in third. He's about 6.9 seconds back from his teammate there in second. But he does have a pretty big gap behind him here, about 11 seconds back to fourth place driver Kevin Foster here, with Christopher Hamilton about 3 seconds back. So his potential here, Hamilton is quite a bit quicker here than Foster, but he does need to get around that lap car there of Dane Simpson if he wants to catch up to Foster there and make a move for fourth. Eric Sherman here in sixth, doing a great job here tonight with a solid top 10 run. He's made it up 8 positions here since he started the feature with that full invert, sending him toward the back of the field. Still see Christopher Hamilton there dealing with that damage on the right front of that car. Hamilton here much quicker through this section of the track, as he's already chipped away a second from the gap up to fourth place Kevin Foster there. All right, let's check in with our race leader here. Looks like the gap has shrunk down to about 24.5 seconds here, as Nickerson has picked up the pace. You can see over the last 3 laps there, he has been quicker with on lap 20 there, 1.6 seconds quicker. But it looks like we only have about 14 minutes remaining, and it looks like Nickerson's only hope here is that Handwerk makes a mistake. Oh no, I'm seeing something on the timing board that we did not want to see here. It looks like Mason Smith has been involved in an accident, and he loses the rear of the car there. That was through turn 2, and unfortunately isn't able to get it spun around here before he loses some positions. And that is one of the most difficult things here about wrecking on this track is it's very difficult and very narrow here to get that car turned around. So it looks like Smith there is going to avoid some damage, but he's going to fall all the way back to 6th behind Derek Sherman there. Looks like we got another driver here involved in a wreck. This is going to be Sean Goodwin. As you can see, he's got plenty of damage on that number 66 Ferrari there. And this was descending down the hill. Just couldn't get it stopped there and makes contact with the tire barrier there. But he does keep going. Looks like John Crane might have been involved in an incident as well here. And you can see that car with some heavy damage. He loses the rear. Wow. Very high speed section of the track there. And that could just be due to lack of downforce there as he's missing a lot of body panels. And we can see here Nickerson has taken away another 2 seconds out of that gap. It's down to 22 seconds here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough here as we head into the final 10 minutes of our 60-minute feature race this evening. Carl Handwerk still out front as we ride on board second place driver here, Nick Nickerson. He has picked up the pace though. He is now down into the low 205s. With our race leader running in the mid 206s here. So our quickest person on track right now is the second place driver here of Nickerson. Setting another very quick lap there down in the low 205s. As you can see, the gap is now down to 21 seconds. And you can see the times there. Nickerson is quicker here. That last lap alone, 2.5 seconds quicker. But is it going to be enough here with a little under 10 minutes remaining? We could see Carl Handwerk here just backing off a little bit here. You know he has the gap. His only way of losing this race here is to make a mistake. So he needs to just take it steady and consistent here for these last 10 minutes. But he can't slack too much there because Nickerson is the fastest car, setting the fastest lap there with a low 205. So he's a-coming. Gap now down to 18 seconds here as Carl Handwerk here rounds out turn 21 and 22 here, making his way through the final portion of the track here. 9 minutes remaining in the race. See what kind of time here. This looks like it's going to be about a high 207 or a 208 lap here out of Handwerk. And it is a high 207 there. So Nickerson doing a great job here, chipping away at that gap. but time is just not on his side here tonight. As you can see, he is getting quicker there. Sets a 2:05.008 there. So a very quick lap there. Keeps improving and has that gap down to about 18.5 seconds. He does have some lap traffic up ahead, though. That's going to be the 44 of Nobinger. So going to be critical here that he makes it by. Looks like Nobinger there is going to let him by. And out of this here, Kevin Foster there in third after we saw Mason Smith make his mistake. So Foster doing a great job currently holding off fourth place driver Christopher Hamilton. So we could see Foster here on the podium tonight. Just about 7 minutes remaining here. He needs to hold off Hamilton, as it does look like Hamilton is starting to slow down a bit here. Looks like Foster was quicker by about a second that lap. But Nickerson here is flying as he chips away another 1.5 seconds through this section of the track alone. You can see the gap's now down to 16.7 seconds. Just have to wonder, is Nickerson going to have enough fuel to be able to run at this pace? We saw him having to do some fuel saving in the first stint there to make it to the halfway mark, but there's no saving going on right now as he is pumping out some quick laps here. See there, he runs another 2:05, a low 2:05 there. And you can see there, 1.8 seconds quicker there Nickerson was over our race leader Carl Handwerk. But we are approaching 5 minutes remaining here in the race. Right on board race leader Handwerk here as we go through my personal favorite section of the track here as they descend down the mountain through the S's here. And this is just a wild ride. See how narrow the track is, tough braking zones, easy to carry too much speed through here, lose the rear end of the car. And you can see he is taking it very conservatively here, not attacking the corners, just letting them come to him. Not the quickest way, but definitely the best way to go mistake-free here, as he almost makes a mistake there into the outside wall. He does a great job to get out of it, but he's going to lose a ton of time here as he loses another second to Nick Nickerson. And you can just see on the track map here as Carl Handwerk rounds the final corner here. He's going to cross the line. Nick Nickerson is just now heading through turn 22, heading into the final corner now. So that's what 14.5 seconds gap looks like here at this track. See Nickerson there quite a bit faster here this lap again as he's 2.1 seconds quicker, but only 4 minutes remain here. Can Carl Handwerk do it? Can he hang on to that car? Can he go mistake free here for the final 4 laps? Those are the questions we won't answer. So far he's led every single lap of this race here after starting on pole. see the gap is now down to 13.7 seconds, but only 2.5 minutes remain here as Handwork is going to head through the final few corners here. And it looks like we're going to get at least 2 more laps here tonight as he does cross the line. White flag doesn't go out. So Handwork here has 2 more laps to hold off Nick Nickerson. Hamilton here starting to pick up the pace a bit and catch up to Kevin Foster there. That's your battle for third. That gap is now down to about 1.6 seconds here as Hamilton is starting to chip away at it. Looks like he might be able to challenge him potentially here for that last podium spot this evening. As you can see Kevin Foster there just right up ahead there in the Ferrari. We know those Ferraris are quick on the straights, so Hamilton will have his work cut out for him here, as really the only passing zones are at the end of the straights. And it looks like Nickerson here has had to back off, and probably due to fuel here. As you can see, he is slow here through this section of the track. Meanwhile, Hamilton here is starting to catch Foster here. That gap is now down to less than 1 second. And we'll see if he's going to be able to give Foster here a challenge for that final podium spot as we are in the final 2 laps of the race here this evening. We got a car there spun out. That's going to be Visu Basim there, currently in 9th, going another lap down there. Looks like he had an issue coming out of turn 19. And we might see a move here for 5th. This is Mason Smith here on Derek Sherman. And we know that McLaren is quick on the straights here. As you can see, Smith is in the draft, but not gaining that much. It looks like he's not going to be able to make a move here. So he will unfortunately have to make this pass here through one of the slower sections of the track. Oh, as he runs wide. And that's probably going to do it there for him, as that gap is now back up to about 1.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Carl Handwork here has just started the final lap tonight. 1 more lap to do it. It looks like he's got it sealed, as Nickerson has had to back off considerably to save fuel, as he had the gap down to about 13 seconds. It's now back up to 27 seconds. So the battle here is going to be for third, that final podium spot here, as Christopher Hamilton tries to make it around Kevin Foster here on the final lap. Going to be right up behind them here as they head up and ascend the mountain here. Will we see a very aggressive move here? It's the last lap, potentially making a passing zone, or making a pass in a non-passing zone here. It'll be difficult to do it through this section of the track, and we see a bit of a mistake there out of Hamilton. He catches too much curb. Doesn't look like it's going to hurt him too bad here, as he is quicker through this section of the track. Has to really focus here on getting a great exit out of turn 18 as we come up to it right now, as you're going to go down this long straight. And we know that Ferrari is quick, as you see it just launch off the corner there, and it looks like Foster is going to be able to hold him off here. Meanwhile, Carl Handwerk has just crossed the line. He's going to take the race win here. Nick Nickerson is coming around the final corner here. He's going to come home in second, so he was able to make it on fuel there. And the question's going to be, can Hamilton get up to the back here of Foster as they go through the final corner? It looks like Foster is going to be able to stay ahead and take third. That final podium spot there going to Foster, with Christopher Hamilton there finishing fourth. Next car here is Derek Sherman. He is under pressure from Mason Smith there, but running out of racetrack here to make a move. So Sherman is going to cross the line here in fifth, with Mason Smith there bringing it home in sixth. Great run here from Carl Handwerk. He had the starting position here tonight, started on pole in the feature after finishing last in the sprint race, and he led the entire race here and did a great job, winning a little over 30 seconds there was the gap back to second place. So we'll give the drivers here a moment to celebrate, and then we'll try to get a word with the top three here this evening. And also here, we'll get the official results up as soon as every car crosses the start finish line. Looks like we're waiting on Matthew Goering here, and he's going to cross the line here in 12th. All right, so we will be able to bring up the official results here just to make sure we don't have any penalties. Carl Handwerk taking the race win tonight. Nick Nickerson in second. We have Kevin Foster in third, Christopher Hamilton in fourth, Derek Sherman finishing fifth, Mason Smith bringing it home in sixth, John Nobinger in seventh, Dane Simpson in eighth, Abiy Visuvesam there finishing ninth, Nick Brown in 10th, John Crane finishing 11th, Matthew Goering in 12th, Mark Thomas in 13th, Sean Goodwin in 14th, Paul Butler bringing it home 15th, Jimmy Covert in 16th, Nicholas DeVos in 17th, with Brandon DeVos there rounding it out, finishing 18th here this evening. That'll do it for your official results. Now let's get a word here with a few of the drivers here tonight. And it does look like we have our third place driver here. Let's bring him up to the booth in just a second. So we've got third place Kevin Hollywood Foster here up in the booth with us. Hey, Kevin. It's the other Kevin up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
10-4, sir.
Hey, man, heck of a run here tonight. Bringing it home in third on a very difficult track here tonight. Not a lot of passing opportunities, but you made it work here with the strategy. And I got to say, first of all, we were a bit disappointed we didn't see a no-stop strategy here.
Well, I could have went probably 40 laps. 40 minutes, 42 minutes on one tank. It's still not enough. So I knew I was going to have to pit, but luckily we didn't have to take as much fuel, and when the pits, 6th, 7th, came out 4th. And so, yeah, saving, 6, 7 seconds on pit road, led me to where I'm at tonight.
Absolutely, it did. And we saw you under pressure there from Hamilton as we were, I believe, about in that 10 minutes to go range. He got right up to the back bumper there for a little bit, but you did a great job to hold him off. Just got to ask, how difficult was it to keep him behind you?
How difficult was it? It wasn't difficult at all. Reason being, Paul Butler, he's the man. He's the crew chief of this car. He does a hell of a job every week on the setups, and I knew if I can just keep him behind me going up the hill, coming down the hill on the backstretch, and there's no way anyone in this field was touching this car tonight. It's just we probably 4 to 6 miles an hour more than the rest of the field at the end of the backstretch. And that's just due to Mr. Paul Butler setting up the car the way it is, and he made the setup, and I was fortunate enough to get behind the wheel and drive an amazing car tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were commenting there on the top speed there out of you Ferrari drivers all night long, and on a track where the only passing opportunities at the end of the straights, having that straight line speed, man, it did the trick for you here tonight, bringing it home third. So congratulations again. And hey, while you're here, any sponsors you need to thank or any other shout outs you want to give?
first and foremost, thank you guys for putting this on every week. Our friends and family get to come out and watch uh, what we love to do week in and week out. Thanks, Carl, and the rest of the guys for the Core Racing League, and my family watching downstairs. And most importantly, I want to give a big shout out. This third place podium tonight, it goes to Mr. Paul Butler. He deserves just as much credit as I do behind the wheel for making the setup. And I couldn't be here where I'm at tonight without that man.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the strong third place finish here this evening. Nothing to be shy about there, with some very fast drivers in the field here tonight, bringing it home third. That's what matters here. And hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you again next race.
Amen, brother. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate it.
All right. That's going to do it there for our third place driver, Mr. Kevin Hollywood Foster. And you heard him there. Had that top line speed, had the setup here tonight, able to keep those Mercedes drivers of Christopher Hamilton behind him there, and also playing the pit strategy right here tonight nets him a podium finish here. So let's bring up our second place driver here this evening. We've got Mr. Nick Nickerson up in the broadcast booth with us. Hey, Nick, you got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, going well. Congratulations, first off, on making it all the way up through the field there, coming home in second. I got to be honest, on this track here tonight, very difficult to pass. We were a little concerned with just how far you'd be able to make it up through the field. And there toward the final part of the race, putting the pressure on Carl Handwerk. I believe he got the gap down to 13 seconds, but just looked like he struggled with the fuel strategy here tonight. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this thing just burns more fuel than anybody else. I mean, I don't know. I spend three quarters of the race, backing up corners and saving up a little here and there, and I just can't get the same fuel mileage as some of these other guys. I don't know if it's the car or what. I know some people like to clutch it in the corners. I'm kind of scared to clutch it sometimes because I don't want to like accidentally loop the car trying to get it back up to RPM, but if we could have raced it, full out, no fuel savings, I probably could have taken both wins here. But all in all, man, it was a fun. I love Bathurst. It's a fun track. I've probably got about 1,000 laps in this thing, but yeah, man, good race, good points.
Absolutely. It was a good race for you. Good points night for you. Taking home the sprint race win here, finishing second in the feature. That's going to be doing a good job for you here in the points, as I believe Adam Jones, second place in the points, was unable to make it tonight. So that's going to extend your lead here. Or sorry, Mason, your teammate Mason Smith was actually in the points lead. So you scored more points than him tonight. So it'll be interesting to see here how that shakes out with Adam Jones being out. Mason finishing sixth, so good points night for you. Hey, while you're here, anybody you need to give a shout out to or sponsors you need to thank?
Man, just everybody that participates in the league, man. It's a ton of fun, and I gotta appreciate the broadcast, man. Do an awesome job.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on that second place finish and winning the sprint race here tonight, and hopefully we'll catch you next week.
All righty, man. Take care.
All right, that's going to do it for second place there, Nick Nickerson. Now let's get a word with the man of the hour here. We've got race winner Carl Handwerk up here in the broadcast booth with us. Hey, Carl, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
I got you, Kevin.
Hey, man. First of all, congratulations on the victory here tonight. It wasn't an easy one as you started to come under pressure there towards the end of the race with Nick Nickerson, but just looks like you getting out front early on, you were able to build that gap, set the pace here tonight, play the strategy right. I believe we saw no mistakes out of you, and I believe that's hard to say for every other driver here. At least we saw one mistake, but just got to ask here, how difficult here was it to go 60 minutes mistake free with all that pressure on you?
Yeah, I think I had like one little off track when Covert spun at the top of the mountain, and I wanted to play it safe and just got off a little bit, but that was all by plan. And even Nick running me down there at the end, that was kind of the plan too. With about like maybe 10 laps to go, maybe even the entire second stint, I was just driving completely cautious. I mean, the car was fast out there. The car was just lightning, and it's all thanks to to Mark Thomas, my teammate. He gave me just a wicked fast setup and arguably the fastest setup on the track. And I could have been running, 204s, 205s there at the end, but I was backed off running like 207s and just being super cautious. And I knew I had a big lead, so figured I'd just I'd rather play it safe, especially at this track.
Absolutely. Very difficult track here. We saw a lot of mistakes out of most drivers here tonight. It looked like the most common thing we saw here was just over driving the entry into some of the slower corners when you're descending and ascending the mountain there and losing the rear of the car. Did you struggle with rear end grip here like we saw some of the other drivers tonight?
No, I mean really not too bad. I mean, like I said, this setup that Mark gave me almost right out the gate. I mean, normally it takes us 4, 5, 6 tries at a setup, and this thing was pretty much right out the box from his first setup. It was just really fast down the straightaways to the point where I was worried it was going to blow the turbo. I mean, it was just humming down the straightaways, and even in the corners. I mean, it was on rails in the corners. So it was just a really really fun car to drive. But yeah, I mean, even with that being the case, there were times when I was kind of milking it at the end where I was actually going so slow that it was getting a little squirrely on me because of, unloading the car and everything like that. And that can certainly happen. I mean, nailing these setups on tracks like this where you're going up and down and up and around corners, and you also have to set up for high speed and, high speed chicanes. It's not easy. It's so again, all credit goes to Mark, man.
Well, you certainly made it look easy out here tonight with that commanding victory. 30 seconds was the gap there at the end. So, congratulations again. And while you're here, any sponsors you need to thank or shout outs you need to give?
I think I give Mark enough shout outs. So, once again, I'll shout out Joker Graphics, Josh Billiter, great guy to get your paints done. Definitely look into that. If you want any kind of paints done, he'll do anything for you and take the time to get it right. Wood Nickel Woodworking, Raise Energy, you guys, Soak Tires Broadcasting. It's like usual. I say it every time. It's a blast running with these guys. It's fun. It's not easy, and they definitely pressure you, but it's a blast every time.
Absolutely. Blast to watch here as you guys put on action every week out here tonight. And I got to be honest, we never know what to expect. We mentioned it early on. We're like, can anybody pull the no stop strategy? You got Mr. Hollywood down there. I never know what kind of wild card he's going to pull out. And but ultimately, you made it happen here tonight. So again, congratulations on the race victory. And hopefully we'll be able to talk with you in victory lane again next week.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, take care. That'll do it for our race winner here tonight, Mr. Carl Handwork, with a commanding victory there over Nick Nickerson. 30 seconds was the gap. That's nothing to be shy about there tonight. But that's going to do it here for round 7. And just checking the schedule, looks like we head to Road Atlanta next week. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then, as you can see, we only have 3 more races here in the season, as we'll head to Monza after that, and then the finale there at Interlagos in Brazil is going to be an interesting one as the points battle does heat up here, especially with Adam Jones not being here tonight. Mason Smith, our points leader, finishing 6th there. It's going to be interesting to see how the points shake out after tonight. But that'll do it here for round 7. Thank you all for tuning in here at Soak Tires Broadcasting, as always. And we hope to catch you back again next week.